Hey guys, Sinj here, and today I got a video for you guys on something that I've tried to make a video on a few times and just it hasn't really worked out for me all too well. This is my third and final attempt at it. And what I'm talking about is a way to make profit for free when it comes to trading CSGO items. So some of you guys may have seen Anomaly's video, I think around 5 or 6 months ago, where he was talking about a strategy they used to use to make profit using the CSGO gambling sites. And if you didn't see it, basically to summarize, what he'd do is he'd go on sites like CSGO Lotto or whatever, and he'd look through the withdraw tab on the site where they have all the skins that you could withdraw after you're done gambling. And he would inspect some of them, and like he'd look at stuff like fades, slaughters, case hardens, and dopplers. And basically what he would do is he just inspect them and see if he can find ones that have good patterns, especially with like stuff like case hardens that have like where the pattern changes the price a lot, like especially if you can find one that's really blue. So he'd look through all of those and he'd inspect them, and if he got lucky and he found one that was, let's say he had a bayonet fade and he had one that was 85%, and he was looking through a trade bot and he found one with 100% fade, basically what he would do is he would deposit his bayonet fade and withdraw the one with the better fade percentage, and basically without paying any extra cost he'd just upgrade his knife for free. And if you guys know anything about trading, like having a better fade percentage, like there's a big difference from 100% fade to 85% in terms of like the value of it. I think it adds like a few keys if it's a better fade percentage. And he'd not only do this with fades, like I said, he'd do this with dopplers, case hardened slaughters, and he'd also do it with floats of items. So if you have like a knife, for example, a Crimson Web knife, where the float matters a lot, but it doesn't really change like on the pattern. I guess the pattern does kind of matter in Crimson Webs, but he would basically just deposit his skin and then pull one out with like a better float value. And basically doing this, he'd make profit for free. And in this video, he basically explained why you can't do this anymore because the gambling sites were like shut down by Valve. But there's actually a way you can still do it, and it's not as good as that, but it's pretty similar. And the way I'm talking about is with these TradeBot accounts, and I'll link them down below. But basically, what you do is you click on one of their names, and it'll open up their Steam account, and has all their items, and you'd search up something like knife. And let's say this is actually a blue gem, right? I don't know if it is, I don't know if it isn't. But basically what I would do is I would trade my knife for this one, and let's just assume that this one was also well worn, like my knife is. And basically for no extra cost, the trade bot would accept the offer. So they would get my knife, I would get theirs, but the one I would get from them would have a much better pattern than the one I give to them. So basically it'd be like a free upgrade for doing absolutely nothing. And you can do this with like these trade bots as long as it's the same item you're trading for. If you're trading for an item, like let's say, for example, this one is actually, if this will actually work here, this item's actually field tested, whereas mine is well worn. So if I were to actually trade mine for this, I'd probably have to give an item or something like that in order to trade for it. Well, actually mine I think is a higher price right now, so I don't think it'd really matter too much. But basically the whole point of this is to get free profits, so you want to try to look for the items that are the exact same as yours. So for example, let's try to find another example. Let's say you have a gut knife Doppler in factory new. Yours has a 0.6 float, which looks really scratched and beat up. You just trade for that, and you come here and you swap it for one with the 0.3 float, so it looks a much cleaner. Or if you have one with a phase you don't like, you could trade it for a phase 1. Let's say if you have a phase 3 and you like the phase 1s more, you can trade it for free. So that's basically the whole method, just to basically find the exact same knife that you have with a different float value or fade percentage or pattern that is better than yours, and you just swap your item for theirs completely for free, and it's just an upgrade that kind of adds more value to your skin. So you guys can definitely try this out if you guys want. Like I said, I'll leave the links below, and you could also try doing this with other websites like CS.MONEY. But the only reason why I suggest these guys, like these trade bots over CS.MONEY, is because with those ones, they don't give you a fair value for your item. So if you want to upgrade your item for like the same knife with a better pattern, you're gonna have to give them like a couple dollars with other skins. Whereas for this one, it's just the exact same skin, one for one trade. You don't have to add anything. And yeah, it's pretty simple. And if you do try to use this method and for some reason the trade bot doesn't accept, it's probably just a glitch with the bot, and you can try to send the same offer, like maybe like 10 minutes later, see if it works. But yeah, hopefully you guys found this video useful. Tell me if you guys are going to go and try this. I've done this a lot in terms of switching floats and stuff, and it is very useful, even if you don't intend on adding any value or reselling your knife afterwards. it's much better if you have like a knife where the float matters a lot and you want it to just look nicer for when you're using it. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. And if you guys want, you can subscribe to my channel. I'm really close to 100, on 4 subs away. I'd really like to hit that before Christmas. And yeah, bye.